Hey everybody, this is Ori from MasterWeb, and I'm going to introduce you today a quick tip on speed optimization, how to implement this very simple thing for lazy loading, making your website faster and not loading all of your images on the page unless you need it, unless you start scrolling down to them, right? So once you load a page, for example, any of the images below, for example, here, for example, they don't need to be downloaded until I start scrolling down. So lazy loading is actually doing this. It's a mechanism for telling the browser when to download the image, the visitor, right, and when not to. So when you start scrolling down, it's going to know, oh, there's an image coming up, and let's start downloading it. So how do you implement that? Traditionally, you'd add some kind of JavaScript, and it would do the calculation, and then give the browser the image. But in Chrome, in Opera, in Firefox, not including Safari, you have a mechanism that you can just add a simple attribute to your image tag, and it'll take care, the browser will take care of the lazy loading for you. So if you don't want to implement all this other stuff, this is a quick win. It's a very simple thing. So let's look at it, for example, a few things, okay? So first of all, here I've downloaded my images, and once I start scrolling, you can see now the browser is downloading the next and next and next images. That's what lazy loading is doing. So what is this tag? How simple is it? If you have an image, right? You have an image, for example, all you need to do for Chrome, obviously it'll work only in Chrome, Opera, and Firefox. You just need to load this attribute called loading equals lazy. That's it. Very simple. Once you do that, the browser will take care of the rest, and it's really simple, easy to implement. That's why I call it a quick win. Okay. Now, a few things that are really important, aside from just the browser support, right? So you have the browser support here. You see Chrome is fully supported. Firefox from the latest one, so should be okay. Obviously for the future, Opera supports it, but things like Safari don't support it. Now, the loading attribute is also partially supported for iframes, but for example, Firefox doesn't support it, so I don't recommend to put it on iframes, but definitely the image, in the image tag, you can do that. Okay, so what are some important things you need to know about this? So let's go through the list. Very simple. So number one is, when is the browser actually going to download the next batch of images, right? How far do you need to scroll? How close to the next batch of images do you need to be in order to actually download the next ones, right? So very simple. In Chrome, you have so if you have a fast connection, before you get to the next image, this distance, 1,250 pixels, you're going to start downloading the next images. And if you have a slow connection, it's going to be 2,500. Okay, so this is very simple. So this is the first thing that's important to know. The second thing is, because lazy loading is not loading all of the images, you need to specify the width and the height either this way or via some kind of CSS, because you don't want some jumping. You don't want the page to jump in weird ways, because once you start scrolling, it'll download an image and then it'll figure out how to space it or how to place it, right? So you want to specify your width and height always, no matter what, even not not even using loading attribute, you still want to specify that, okay? And the next thing is, lazy loading is only downloading images once you scroll down, but images that are already in your viewport, right, at the top of the page already, once you load the page, you do not need, and you should not have, the loading equals lazy. You don't want it, right? So if I'm at the top of my page right now, this image, for example, should not have the loading equals lazy. That's very simple. That's it. So those are the important things. It's a quick win. It helps with speed optimization, helps your server work less, helps you get a higher Google page speed score, slightly higher, and it's just better, and it's easy to implement. And obviously you can think about JavaScript and other types of implementations, but this is a quick win, super easy. Any developer that knows anything about HTML can just throw it in. Super simple. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions about it, let me know. Happy to add some answers to the comments, and appreciate it, guys. Thank you, guys.